Hi everyone, welcome to DT's premiere where technical drawing is made simple. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to support the channel and help reach more students. Let's begin. For this activity, you will need a ruler, a compass, and a protractor. All right, so before we get into it, we're going to do angles and we're going to learn how to do our base angles. All right, so pretty much an angle is two arms that are lines or rays that meet at a point. All right. And this point is called a vertex. What do I mean by that? So line one and line two meet at a point, right? And this point is what we call the vertex. So this is an arm. This is also an arm. All right. So when you are drawing your angles and you're labeling, you need to label these as your arms. And then we have the point that is right here where they meet, and this point is called a vertex. All right. So you can just sketch this off in your books so you have it as practice so you actually know what an angle is and the parts of an angle. All right, additionally, there are different types of angles. So we have an acute angle, right? An acute angle is pretty much greater than 0, but it's less than 90. All right, that's an acute angle. What I used to remember what an acute angle is when I hear the word cute. You know, sometimes we associate the word cute with things that are small and neat. So acute angle, less than 90. So if it is 89 degrees, it's an acute angle. If it's 1 degree, 2 degrees, usually we don't go that far, but those are acute angles. We also have a right angle. All right. The right angle is pretty much a 90-degree angle. All right. It's always represented by a box looking shape. If you see a round looking shape, just know it's still 90 degrees. So from this point or this arm or this ray or this line, it's 0. And then at the top, it meets at 90 degrees. All right. And then we have the vertex right there. 0 degrees here. And say, for example, this is a 15-degree angle. Just for example. All right. We also have an angle that is greater than 90, but it is less than 180. All right. So this angle is what we call an obtuse angle. All right. So this obtuse angle is going to be greater than 90, but less than 180. So say for example, this is a 120 angle or 150 angle. Just for example. All right. Then now we have an angle that is greater than 90, but it is exactly. All right, let me just fix that up. So before we go into that type of angle, all right, we have an angle that is straight. All right, straight. And this angle is what we call a straight angle. This angle goes from 0 to 180. All right. So this is a straight angle. It's always going to be 180. It's a straight line. All right. Then now we have an angle that is greater than 180. All right. But it is less than 360. And this angle is called, let me do it a different way. And this angle is called a reflex angle. So it goes from 0 past 180, which would have been a straight angle, and it goes below, but it is less than 360. All right. And this is what we call a reflex angle. All right. Usually I use the word reflex, flexible, to just remember that specific angle. And notice the angles are going from the right hand side and it's going over to the left. The right hand side going over to the left, right hand side going over to the left, right hand side going over to the left, right to the left, right hand side going over to the left. All right. Say for example, this angle is 210. Just an example. All right. Then no, the last angle we have would be one that starts right here at 0 and then it goes all the way this way, all right, to 360. So 360 is pretty much a full rotation, and because of that we call this angle a full rotation angle. So the vertex would be right here, all right, and as you can see the angle goes all the way from the right going all the way back to the right, so 0 to 360. It's the same for here. It goes for the straight angle. We have a vertex there, vertex here. This is where your lines, rays, or arms meet. All right. So you need to sketch these down and you need to have them in your books with the names. All right. Remember, we use all caps in TD. That's it for this tutorial. Now we know what an angle is, we know the types of angles. We need to learn about the concept of constructing the angles. So I'll be doing that for you guys shortly. Have a good one.